Suing my daughter for $1,800 for an engagement ring I gave her that she sold off to her, that she sold off to a pawn shop when I gave it to her so that she could propose to her fiancé.
To her fiancé. Okay, why don't you, I see you have some evidence, ma'am. Give your entire folder, please, to my bailiff.
Everything? Okay.
Yeah, the evidence folder. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we are looking at here. Thank you. Okay, I am looking at an invoice of sorts. This is an appraisal report, actually, from a jeweler here, certifying that you, Miss Lisa Castleberry, brought in a diamond wedding band. Looks like some nice clarity and cut here. Mm-hmm. Very, very nice. Good carat weight. The appraisal value is $1,800 for the diamond engagement band.
Yes.
Okay. How did it get to a point of her taking it to a pawn shop, ma'am?
Well, first of all, she's my daughter, my only daughter. Mm-hmm. We grew up with her watching Disney films and dressing like a little princess. And we one day, talked about her finding a prince and getting married and just living happily ever after.
So a fairy tale, the fairy tale that I think many of us grew up with.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. And a few years ago, she said that she had met someone special, and she came home and wanted to tell us all about it. And when she came home, she let us know that it was a woman that she was in love with. And
was this the first time you were finding out, ma'am, that your daughter was a lesbian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm embarrassed to say now I was, somewhat disappointed. It was more about how I knew her life was going to be harder if she took this path. And I just wanted to make sure.
Took this path? Okay. Well, that framing is just interesting, ma'am. Go ahead, continue.
Mm-hmm. I've learned a lot since then.
Okay, well that's good to hear.
Yeah. So she shared that, and it took me a while. I think I was disappointed. I think she kind of felt that in the beginning, but I took the next few months to really get educated. I talked to a lot of people, and I listened to podcasts and did whatever I could to get educated on it. And ultimately, I just wanted to salvage the relationship with my daughter.
Absolutely.
That was
You said this is your only child, correct?
Yes, my only child, my only baby.
Okay.
And I just wanted to salvage the relationship. So after getting educated, I reached out to her and told her that I wanted to come visit her in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And came out, and we had a really great time. I helped her decorate her apartment that she was moving into. She got herself a really great job. I'm so proud of her.
Great. Now, was she engaged at this point, ma'am? Or
no?
Okay.
No.
Where does the ring come in?
Well, I met her, fiancé, or her girlfriend.
At the time?
At the time, yes. And she told me during the visit that she wanted to propose.
What did you think of the girlfriend, ma'am?
She's a very nice girl.
Great. Okay, good.
Yeah. So I thought, as a really gracious way to show my blessing to her, that I would give her my engagement ring that meant so much to me.
Was this the engagement ring that you had been proposed to by your father, I assume?
Yes. Her father proposed to me just before leaving the military.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
I waited 4 years for him to come back, and it just represents a lot of things to me. It's very, very sentimental.
Sentimental value, sure thing. Okay, so you gift your daughter this said engagement ring.
Yeah.
With the expectation that she would use this ring to propose to this nice young lady that you had just met, her girlfriend.
Exactly.
Okay,
and you'll find, excuse me, Judge, but you'll find in the evidence there that I did, mention to her that I wanted it to stay in the family.
I see this text message exchange between the two of you ladies. Thank you again for giving me your engagement ring so I can propose. This means a lot, seriously. And then mother says, of course, it's a lucky ring. I want it to stay in the family. And young lady, you say, thanks for considering Alicia family. I love you. This looks very beautiful. How could such a beautiful exchange and a beautiful ring and a beautiful story go so wrong?
Was this a trust test? I want you to think about it. The $1,800 appraisal amount almost doesn't matter. The real question is, what did the daughter think her mom would do when she found out? If she pawned it without asking, she had to know that eventually it would come out. That suggests that she believed that whatever problem she was solving was worth destroying trust over. My second question is, did the daughter recognize the mother's sacrifice? The mother changed for her daughter. The mother had expectations for her daughter's life. She struggled with that relationship initially, then intentionally educated herself, accepted her daughter, then gave her one of her most sentimental possessions to support her proposal. So, does the daughter fully appreciate what the mother has given up emotionally? Because we don't know what happened yet. This lawsuit may not be about getting the $1,800 back. If the ring is gone, money's not going to replace it. So the lawsuit may be a way for the mother to hold the daughter accountable. Let's get back.
Why are you guys in my courtroom today?
Well, 6 months later, after she left, or after I left there, I found out through Instagram that she had proposed to Alicia, and I noticed that the ring was not the same ring that I had given her.
Well, I'm seeing that. Let's look at the court for the courtroom to be able to see this social media post. So this, let me get to you, Miss Sarah Castleberry. This is your fiance's hand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alicia? Okay, and it says she said yes. So cute. Everyone's saying how beautiful the ring is and how happy they are for you. But I am noticing a difference, ma'am, between the ring on your fiance's hand here, while lovely, very different than the ring I'm looking at here in this appraisal. What gives?
Yes, Your Honor. What gives is that I feel my mother is sanitizing history a little bit here.
Okay.
Yes, I'm her only daughter. And for the most part, she was a wonderful mother, but also she's always had an opinion on everything.
How old are you right now, ma'am?
I'm 25, Your Honor.
Yeah,
I just found that once I graduated college, I wanted to have a little bit more distance from my parents.
Very common.
I love them.
Is that why you moved to Los Angeles?
That is correct.
Okay, understood.
So I moved to Los Angeles, start, a new life, meet new people. And only 2 months after moving there, I went to a happy hour with some coworkers where I met Alicia.
Yep.
Who became my girlfriend shortly after. We hit it off right away.
Right.
I had never felt that way about a woman before.
Was this your first serious relationship, would you say, with anybody?
I mean, serious. I was in college. I had something here, something there.
A couple situationships.
A couple situationships,
yeah,
exactly,
okay.
Your Honor.
So this was the first serious
This
commitment.
was the first time that I would say I was in love.
You were in love?
Yes.
Hence the proposal to Alicia.
Yes.
Okay.
So obviously I knew that I had to let my parents know that this is kind of where I saw my life going.
Sure.
So about 8 months into living in LA, I go and visit home, and I let them know that I'm seeing a woman and that I love her.
And was this also you coming out to your parents by way of your sexual orientation?
Yeah, this was not only revealing a relationship, but coming out for the very first time.
Okay, and how do you feel that your mother took it?
Not as expected, or not how I would have preferred, I guess. She seemed really disappointed. She expressed disappointment.
Well, that's what she said today, even in court. She admitted that I think she had a fantasy, and I think she had a fairy tale dancing in her head, as many of our mothers do, around what it's going to look like, and the happily ever after, and the horse and carriage, and the baby carriage, and all that mess. And oftentimes it doesn't work out like that for a litany of reasons.
Yes.
Sexual orientation aside, and it also happens to be your truth, Ms. Castleberry, that you are a queer woman.
Yes.
And that's what it is.
That's what you would hope. Yeah. I felt that wasn't her response, and that it was, she's, explaining it now in this different way.
But you felt judged.
I felt judged.
And you felt not accepted.
I felt not accepted by my mother. Yes.
And I think that's what she's, kind of standing in some ownership of. Now, she does say that she has gotten educated since. Would you agree with that?
I would say that she has done work. I would say that if she had really gotten educated, we wouldn't be here today, Judge. because she would understand why I did what I did.
Sounds like Ms. Castleberry said you just listened to some podcasts. That ain't it. Okay. All right.
No,
So
I did educate myself.
Okay. Well, we're not going to litigate that part today. You're saying that you did some things. She's saying you did some things, but maybe not quite enough of the things, or maybe not quite the right things. Either way, what we are going to litigate is this ring. So the ring is valued at $1,800. Your mother is suing you for $1,800. Why is she suing you, and why were the two rings not the same? Why is your fiance's ring not the ring that your mother gave you to propose with?
Yes, Your Honor. So my mother gave me that ring. I did see it as a really lovely gesture. And truly I saw it as a gift. I thought that she was giving me a gift for my future, for my engagement, for my future wife.
It was my way of blessing.
Ma'am, I'm actually speaking to your daughter now. Thank you. Go ahead.
When I went to propose to Alicia, she said no. And she made it clear off the bat that she was not saying no to me. She was saying no to the ring. And she's not a vain woman. It wasn't about looks. It was the history attached to it. She knew how my mother hadn't been supportive. She had felt a distance even when my mother came and visited. She had mentioned to me, even while complimenting Alicia, still has to mention she's a little plain. Like, it's always something. There's always... So I understood that completely, and I agreed that if we were going to start a life together, it should start on the right foot and not with a ring constantly touching her finger that she feels has bad history to it.
Bad vibe.
It sounds like the mother and daughter are defining change differently. The mother's definition sounds like I educated myself, I accepted your relationship, I gave you a ring. And the daughter's definition of change sounds more like, did I actually feel emotionally safe and accepted by you? Those are two different scorecards. People often think they've repaired a relationship because they've changed their behavior, while the other person is still measuring how the relationship felt. Now notice as the case went on, the fiance became the emotional decision maker around the ring. The daughter said when she got the ring, she thought it was a lovely gesture. She truly thought it was a gift, and she actually used the ring to propose. So the objection came from Alicia, who didn't want the mother's history attached to that marriage. That's an interesting dynamic because now the meaning of that ring was not determined by the mother or the daughter, but it was filtered through a third party. How would the daughter have viewed the ring if Alicia had loved it? Because objects don't carry emotions, people assign them. The exact same ring represented three completely different things. To the mother, it was family, legacy, and love. To the daughter, it was acceptance and support. To Alicia, it was rejection and painful history. Nothing about the ring changed, only the meaning that each person attached to it did. Let's keep going.
The question I think everybody's wondering right now in court, ma'am, is why you didn't give the ring back.
Well, Your Honor, because I understood it as a gift. And my understanding of gifts is that they don't come with stipulations or implications, that it's a gift, and once it's mine, it's mine. And so
what'd you do with it?
I went to a pawn shop and I found another ring that suited both of our tastes.
So you found the new ring at the pawn shop?
Yes.
So you did an exchange?
Yes, Your Honor. I exchanged it, and then I also paid an additional $300 on top to cover the difference.
Okay. And so when did your mother find this out? When did you find out, ma'am, that your family heirloom engagement ring that you had worn for years was no longer in the family?
From an Instagram post.
Yikes. Okay,
Yeah.
the post that we
and
all saw.
I mean, if she didn't like the ring, she could have called me up, and I
Well, I
probably
think
would
she
have.
didn't like the right. I got it from here.
I
dear.
would have given her the money.
Mother, listen.
Okay.
It's not that she didn't like the ring. I think we can all see the ring was a beautiful ring. It's a pretty ring, right? Aesthetically, there's no problem with this ring.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Alicia had no problem with the look of the ring. No. Ma'am, the issue is what the ring represents, knowing the history, knowing the subliminals that come along with a ring like this, which could look at best like a mixed message type of situation. On one hand, my mother wants me to be happy, and she's happy I found love. On the other hand, she's disappointed it's not with a man, and Prince Charming's not going to show up and sweep me off to, Never Never Land. Okay? And I'm sure you can understand how they would both get that narrative based off of even what you've admitted in court today, right?
I understand that, Your Honor, but that was my token of my blessing for her love, trying to move past that.
But you
and
see
it
how
was
it
my
can
representation.
I understand that too, and I do want to hold the space, ma'am, for what sounds like some progress on your part as it relates to your point of view of your daughter and her choice. I think what you're saying sounds a little entitled, as if you are due some type of acceptance or some type of, I don't know, like you want a cookie or something, simply for finally coming around and accepting that your daughter's love is your daughter's love.
Well, I don't think that's it. I don't understand where Alicia got that I didn't like her.
No, it's not that you didn't like her, ma'am. You said to court, see, let me help you out. You said in court, and I appreciate your candor, when my daughter first told me that she had found someone special that she wanted to share her life with, my knee-jerk reaction was, what'd you say?
I was disappointed.
Disappointment. Okay. So when somebody says, not just somebody, when one's mother, when one's most closest parent, I would assume here, right?
That's right.
Says, I'm disappointed in you, ma'am, that's painful. That's a hurt like no other. And again, I think your daughter seems pretty rational right here. She seems like a level-headed, reasonable young lady. You should be very proud you raised her that way.
I am.
And I think that pride is the opposite of what she felt. She felt like her mother was disappointed, and that's painful. And I'm sure that still hurts today.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then let's enter Miss Alicia, who doesn't know you from a can of paint. And the very first thing she's hearing is, well, my mom kind of wishes you were a guy and she wishes this whole thing was a heteronormative situation. Point being, let's get to the ruling.
I've got a question for you and the judge and the daughter. If the ring symbolized rejection, why was its value acceptable? This is the contradiction that jumped out at me in this section. The physical ring was rejected because of what it represented, but its financial value was still acceptable to fund the replacement ring. In other words, the symbolism was too painful to wear, but not too painful to spend. What do you think? Secondly, a gift can still carry moral responsibilities. The daughter keeps focusing on a gift is a gift. Legally, that may or may not matter depending on circumstances. But relationships aren't only governed by legal definitions. I think most people would probably agree if someone gives you an irreplaceable family heirloom, selling it without a conversation feels very different than selling an ordinary birthday present. An interesting question is whether sentimental gifts create an obligation, even if it's not spoken. Let's find out the verdict.
While I understand your point of view, I can also understand and empathize with your mother that she felt that you took something that meant a lot to her and had a lot of sentimental value, and you kind of tossed it to the wayside in lieu of something that you and your fiancé preferred. The issue is you have every right to do that. But what you should have done, ma'am, is return the ring to your mother. And then we wouldn't be here today. But instead, you took a gift. And I understand you're saying, well, Your Honor, it was a gift. But let me read your own words back to you. Thank you again for giving me your engagement ring so I can propose, which tells me that you understood the ring for exactly what it was under the law, a conditional gift. And when you give someone a conditional gift, that means you have to adhere to the conditions in which it was given. It was given for you to propose. When you said, I'm not going to propose with this particular ring, that ownership right reverts right back to the original owner because now the condition has not been met. This court rules in favor of the plaintiff for the full $1,800. That's my ruling.
If you wanted to send a message about a fresh start in your life, then buying your own ring would have been a better way to start the next chapter of your life, instead of relying on somebody else's family heirloom. The $1,800 she's paying back to her mom needs to be her own sacrifice. That is the sacrifice she is making to be with the partner she wants for the rest of her life. So it should be worth it. Which brings us to our big life lesson. Character is revealed by what you do when no one can stop you. So let's do better. The strongest foundations are the ones you build with your own sacrifices. If you want a fresh start, be willing to pay for it yourself. Now, my question for you. Do you agree with the judge? Should the daughter have returned the family ring and bought her own engagement ring? Or was she free to do with it whatever she wanted once it was hers? Put your answers in the comments, then make sure to like, follow, and share. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.